Let's see, do they go with Graham? Do they go with
a
the
natural
fullback?
hold to the right?
It's Graham up and he got the first down. He almost got the touchdown. Morris Foreman made the stop. You called it right there, Condridge. They've been going left all the way. This time they go to the right side.
If you take a look at the way East Carolina lined up, they gave Tennessee a natural hole on the right side of the defense. I don't know if it was a mistake on their part, but there was a natural hole there. And, you know, we're so used to seeing this as an automatic touchdown with our guy from last year, Mr. 33, automatic. But I think Jay will be able to do that in time.
Mr. 33 is doing it with the Jacksonville Jaguars now.
None other than James Littleman Stewart. Touchdown.
Peyton Manning sneaks. There it is, the signal. Touchdown, Tennessee. .6'6", about 216 pounds, and he rams it home. And the fans are happy in Knoxville. Well, about 10,000 of them are not. We have about that many from East Carolina across the way. A real nice crowd from East Carolina. Their stadium seats about 35,000, but they're in the process of adding to that. They're going up around 50,000 with their seats. Jeff Hall, his first ever extra point, and the beat goes on at Tennessee with the extra points.
Well, kickers are known for being successful at Tennessee, along with linebackers, running backs, wide receivers, and quarterbacks. So what can I say? And linemen.
Take a look at it here, Condridge.
This is just the quarterback sneak. And the one thing that people don't understand, there's a technique to quarterback sneaks. You don't just stay up high and get behind. You have to get behind, know what the blocking scheme is up front. If they're wedge blocking, you got to stay right behind the center.
All right, down to Missy.
The most exciting fan, I think, is Vicki Fulmer, Coach Fulmer's wife. Are you relieved?
I'm relieved to get the first score in the first quarter, and I'll tell you what, I have a new appreciation for what the players go to now that I'm on the field, because it is very loud down here.
And you're very excited. What goes through a wife's mind when you're the wife of the head coach here at Tennessee?
Well, pregame is always exciting. I think you just hope that your players come together as a team and that the coaches call the plays as they see fit and that it all works out for victory for us.
How do you think Coach Fulmer's doing so far?
I think he's doing great.
You better say that. Thank you, Vicki, so much. Also, Vicki has a little girl. Courtney is a ball girl this year, so she's got a lot to watch.
Yeah, I've got a lot to watch today.
Back to you, Bob.
All right, Jeff Hall puts his foot into it. It's going to be right down to about a half yard into the end zone where Galloway's coming out of there with it. Galloway runs into trouble at about the 16-yard line. Anthony Hampton.
He still doesn't know.
Hall is still retrieving that tee.
We got to tell him there's a guy designated for that. He doesn't have to do that.
Anthony Hampton is quite a story, Condridge. He's 6'5", great basketball player, just a great all-around athlete, but he weighs 210 pounds, which is kind of light for a linebacker, but he may be able to play it at that weight. In one of the practices, he had 8 solo tackles.
Wow. The athletes are getting so much bigger, stronger, and faster now. I think we're going to see it re-kicked again.
Tennessee's scoring drive was 86 yards, 17 plays, consumed 8 minutes and 2 seconds. The general would have liked that.
That's not bad for first drive of the season with a sophomore quarterback and a lot of veterans. That's pretty good. When you can go 17 plays, no mistakes. That's what you strive for.
Well, Tennessee's going to have to pull it back to the 30, and Hall's going to see what he can do with it from there. Offside. Galloway and Jones are deep. Darrell Jones and Mitchell Galloway. Here's Jeff Hall. And he got a lot of it, almost to the goal line. Kind of easing out of there, looking for running room, and almost found the crease as Galloway gets up in much better position after the penalty. Ball just shy of the 30-yard line. Anthony Hampton made the stop. Was there a flag down, Condridge?
No, there was just a little ruckus afterwards, but the officials thought there was. Oh, maybe there was. Oh, that was afterwards.
I don't think they actually dropped the flag.
I think it might be on Mr. Harley, and I think he just got an earful. If you check Coach got over that's not what he wants to see.
Well, I thought there was a penalty, but I couldn't find the flag, but obviously there was one.
Good job, Coach.
Bill Duff is in now. Ron Green, Jonathan Brown, new faces up front defensively for Tennessee. Let's see what they can do with Crandall and company. There's the tailback breaking through, Jarris McPhail, and he got across the 15, 16-yard line before he stopped by Corey Gaines coming up out of the secondary. I think we've got that on replay, the extracurricular activity here. Let's take a look.
Yeah, that's
a no-no.
That's after the whistle, and that's not tolerated, but wasn't really flagrant. It was just after the whistle.
2nd down and 7. They give him 3 on that one. Crandall at quarterback. McNeil is behind him, the lone setback. He fakes it to McNeil. He wants to throw it. He throws and complete. Nice first down yardage. Batson was the receiver. Flanker. And the stop was made by Terry Fair, but not until after he had picked up the first down.
Just a little play action pass, roll, boot, semi-half boot, bootleg, and hitting the receiver across the middle. That was a great throw too. I mean, I'll tell you what now.
Nice
Marcus Crandall has showed me a little athletic skill here.
Leonard Little put the pressure on him. Burton put the hit on him.
That's one of the first times Leonard Little's been blocked by one guy.
And Billy Barron was there. Big number 94. Barron really showing some speed on that one. Take a look at Barron here, number 94, as he changes directions real quickly. There.
That's a great play. Coming off the block, sustaining your laneway, and then fighting to the ball.
It was Barron. It's 94 instead of 84. Burton. Barron is a youngster from Louisiana they expect an awful lot of this year. Here's the delay handoff to the tailback. Got a hole, got through, and the secondary had to make the stop that time. Corey Gaines. One more step, and he might have been gone. Tennessee operating right now with their number 2, for the most part,
defensive line. This is a misdirection with both guard and tackle pulling from the opposite side. It's kind of like the old counter trade play that Washington Redskins run all the time. They made it famous. And that was a good execution by East Carolina.
Number 44 missing that tackle that time was Craig King. That's unusual for him. Here's Crandall throwing in the flat. Got a man out there open. Got big yardage. Up to midfield is Batson. Corey Gaines made the stop. Corey Gaines has been by far, I think, the leading tackler for Tennessee.
This is as close as you can get to a legal pick. And what you do is you run receiver up the field to the outside of the defensive back, and he kind of shields the flat guy that's coming right behind him, and it's a good play if it's executed properly.
Official attendance, 95,416. 95,416 for the season opener. Here's the hit. There you have Leonard Little. Don't celebrate, Leonard.
Yeah, don't get excited, Leonard. This game is just, boy, I got a problem with that. You'll have to calm me down on that one.
We'll have to throw a flag on you.
Yeah, I might get a penalty. Unsportsmanlike. Good play. That was just Leonard Little coming off of the end, and with his speed, it's very tough. His speed and strength makes it very difficult for any one man to just handle him all day.
That's the end of the quarter, end of the first quarter of play here in Knoxville at Neyland Stadium on a glorious, beautiful evening in East Tennessee. The score is Tennessee 7, East Carolina nothing. East Carolina went to the Liberty Bowl last year. They had a great season, but in the Liberty Bowl, they ran into an outstanding defensive unit in Illinois and got beat 30-0. Had a lot of turnovers, had 3 big interceptions in that ball game, Condridge, and they used that game all during fall to build on, saying we were embarrassed, we want to redeem ourselves, it's redemption time, and I think they even had T-shirts made up to that effect, so they tried to use that loss in a very positive way.
Well, I'll tell you, a loss at the end of the year is probably one of the better motivators that can happen, because You've got the whole off season and to be up to the first game of the season to think about it and get better from it.
Well, next year, Tennessee will open at home against UCLA. But next week, Georgia comes to town, and Ray Goff got off to a roaring start today with a 42-23 victory over South Carolina. Edwards looked terrific at tailback. Bobo looked fine at quarterback, so Georgia will come in here with fire in their eyes. In fact, their fans, even before the South Carolina game, were talking a lot about the Tennessee game. So it'll be a whale of a football game next week, right here on this same surface. East Carolina moving the football. They're at midfield, trailing 7-0. Crandall is back. Got some pressure from White. Fires, just threw it away.
Smart play. That was a smart play by Crandall. He didn't have anybody open. Instead of trying to make something out of nothing, he threw it out of bounds. It's called throw it away and line up for another play. That's what you got to do.
Steve White, big number 64, was bearing down on him from behind, but Crandall could feel that. Well, the crowd just heard the score of the Northwestern and Notre Dame game. Northwestern winning in what has to be one of the biggest upsets in a long time, but Condridge proof you can't take anything for granted.
You can't do that. It's a game of contact. You got to play the whole 60 minutes, and if you don't, you can be in big trouble.
They needed 11 for the first down. They got about 12. Tennessee let them out of a hole that time. Corey Gaines again, along with Shane Burton.
This is a very popular screen. That's down the line screen. You get people to rush. You throw the screen underneath. You see the two linemen out in front, and then you just become an athlete. And you get a lot of open space when you throw that screen underneath with the rushers rushing upfield.
Jason Nichols is a fine athlete who caught that one. They line up with one back. Twin receivers on the near side here. And rolling to the left this time for positive yardage. Nichols has got 3 receptions for 27 yards, by the way, and that time McPhail carried, and Terry Fair had to knock him down in the secondary.
This is just great blocking. I think the Tennessee defense alignment-wise might have wanted to be in a little better position. When they shift from an I back to a tight end set weak side, there should have been a little movement made.
Jonathan Brown may have been sucked in a little bit on that one. Here's Crandall. Quick hitch out in the flat. Knocked down beautifully by Tennessee. Raymond Austin. Raymond Austin with a great play that time. Intended for Mitchell Galloway, who is 6'6".
This is the same little quick out pattern that's been run all day long. And Raymond Austin came up and made a play, but be aware, there's always the flatten up that will come. I'm telling you, these guys run trick plays. Things are going to happen. So you defend one play, you don't know if they're setting you up for another one, but that's part of their offensive scheme. Penalty flag.
Yep. Illegal formation. I think you heard him, Bill Goss. It's declined since there was no gain on that one. It'll make it a 2nd down and 10 situation for the Pirates of East Carolina. Next week they play at Syracuse, come back home, play Central Michigan, and then go on the road to Illinois. So 3 of their first 4 on the road and very tough opponents. Rolling back is Crandall again, looking way downfield, little pressure and enough pressure that he threw it away.
Wow, there's
Mitchell Galloway was in the neighborhood. There he is.
I don't know what happened, but Jason Nichols was in the end zone by himself that time. Number 1.
Well, I guess the pressure saved a touchdown then. Crandall is 6 out of 12, Condridge, for 72 yards right now.
The percentage is not great, but 3 of those passes, he made a smart play by throwing the ball away instead of trying to cram it in something.
Well, he had that long one dropped.
Right, that's true.
Out of the shotgun. Long fade pattern down. Oh, incomplete. Intended for Scott Richards. No, correction, Larry Shannon. Deron Jenkins was defending that time for Tennessee, but the ball was uncatchable.
That's a different scheme right there, having your tight end run the fade pattern. But what they're doing is running it on a 6'6" guy on a guy that's 5'10".
Going to spot it on the 35. It'll be a 45-yard field goal attempt by Chad Holcomb. It's down. It's on its way. It's no good. Shane Burton came in, who's 6'7", with hands up, and that may have been the deciding factor in that destination of that field goal. There's Steve Logan pacing the sidelines. Came out of Oklahoma, graduate, played at Tulsa. Tennessee 7, East Carolina nothing. You see the time there, 13:41 left before the half. Manning is 6 out of 7 throwing for 50 yards. Now let's see if he starts airing it out even a little bit more here. I'm sure Tennessee would like to get a little more comfortable as far as the score is concerned. East Carolina, as you can see, folks, capable of striking from almost anywhere. 95,000 plus in here, and probably will be a few more squeeze in next week for the conference opener with Georgia, which will be on the Ball Network stations and on ESPN. Manning taking a lot of time, maybe checking off.
He sees, whoa, he got tricked a little bit there, but what happened was number 7, Foreman, was playing a little game with Peyton Manning there. He was coming up and faking blitz and then dropping back, and what Peyton saw last was a blitz look, and he was checking off to a little quick pass short side, and realistically they did not blitz at all.
Maurice Staley was out there, the man he was trying to hit. Running out of the two-back set this time, the I formation. Manning fakes it to his tailback. He's got a little time. Now he's got pressure. He's going to have to throw it away. They chase him all the way out of bounds and dangerously close to, I would think, getting a flag. It should be.
Flag.
He hit Manning after he passed the cheerleaders, Condrich.
Well, one thing that when you're a younger team, you've got to understand, things are said in the paper for a reason. And so much has been written about.
There's no foul.
Well,
there was a player in the area, no foul.
Huh.
They were going to call intentional groundings, what they were calling.
Oh, my goodness.
So
what they were going to call.
Yeah. What you got to understand is these newspaper articles are done for a reason by very smart coaches. If you get it in the public's mind enough that Peyton Manning is the only guy, boy, if anybody gets near him, they're going to throw that flag. So that seed's already been planted in the official's mind.
He got pulled up, I guess, and didn't actually knock him to the ground, or there would have been one. All right, Manning's going to be in the gun this time. Fires over the middle. It's complete to Joey Kent. And Kent is across the 40, got a first down. There's your guy, Condrich.
I tell you, Joey Kent can be, he's, from everything that everybody said about him so far this year, here's just a little drop back, and all Joey does is come across the middle, get inside the linebacker, and I'm going to tell you, he usually, well, they made a tackle right there, but he's going to make that first guy miss most of the time.
All right, Tennessee looking now at a first down and 10 with the ball at the 40 and 13:03 to go, and East Carolina is going to call timeout. Jason Lehman, Trey Teague, Bubba Miller, Jeff Smith, and Robert Poole are the men on the front line right now for Tennessee. They hope to play 8 or 9 offensive linemen. Condrich, they got to get people ready because they're losing all of the starters. So
yes.
they got to get people ready for practically all of the starting lineup. So they got to get people ready for next year.
They've got to get depth going, and it's something that's going to have to start with game experience. You can only do so much in practice, so you've got to get these people game time experience and let them know what it's like. But getting back to Joey Kent, he is projected the #2 receiver in the nation right now for this upcoming senior class. And Joey's the type of guy that can really distance himself if he wants to, because he does have that kind of ability.
Very quiet young man.
And he's from Huntsville, Alabama.
That's right. That makes him a step above, doesn't it, huh?
Well, they give him a chance.
Condrich, you were a great baseball player and a great football player. I don't think I ever thought you'd wind up in hockey.
Oh, yeah. Well, I did get a new job in Huntsville, Alabama with the Huntsville Channel Cat hockey team, and it's a pleasure just to be involved and see how things work from the front office perspective.
Executive now.
Yes, we're trying that avenue.
Way to go. Tennessee rushing 12 times for 36. Graham's got 28 of them. And nice bit of running there by Jay Graham. He just added to that stat. Morris Foreman trailed him and finally made the stop, but Jay burst across nicely midfield and got the first down. There's a good quick pop that time.
That's a good blocking up front. It's just a one-on-one isolation blocking without a lead back, and Jay Graham just pops it up in there, and he's a big, strong runner. He knows how to finish off runs. If you notice, he's always going forward.
Bubba Miller was the key blocker there. Tennessee got 2 receivers on each side. Manning got 5 men in the pattern and still got time to throw and led his man a little too much, Jay Graham. Graham kind of stumbling there, couldn't quite get to it. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 to go for Tennessee. Leading in this ball game by a score of 7-0 here in Knoxville before 95,000. Looks to me like maybe at least if you look at the colors they're wearing, purple, about 10,000 or so at least, maybe more than that from East Carolina. And so far their team has hung in there with the rather heavily favored Tennessee. Vols came in about a 17-point favorite. Twin sets at the bottom of the screen, 1 receiver at the top, and they hand off again. There's a big hole for Jay Graham. Not quite a first down, about a yard shy. Darren Hart from strong safety made the stop.
Now, if you see, take a look at Jeff Smith with this isolation block. But I tell you, the big block was made by the fullback, Eric Lane. If you look at this isolation right here, watch. Eric Lane makes a stalemate. And what you got to understand, on an isolation block, a stalemate is an A-plus job because that's all you need for the back to get by and get upfield.
Just really getting his way would be sufficient, yeah. Manning is going to
hurry.
Call timeout because time was running out.
That's a smart play. That's a smart play.
There's Peyton. Let's go down on the field to Missy Kane. Missy?
Okay, when you talk about Tennessee fans, you got to talk about David Keith. David, you're in town. What do you think about the Vols this year?
Well, you never can tell about the Vols, but they look like they're loaded up. And East Carolina, everybody thinks East Carolina is just another Akron, but they're not.
They are running the ball well.
They're moving the ball well on us, yeah.
Now tell me, you've got about 3 movies out. One, I know I'm dying to take my little girl, Indy in the Cupboard.
Yeah, I got Indian in the Cupboard out, and then I've got, coming up, I've got one called Gold Diggers, one called Sisterhood, one called A Family Thing with Robert Duvall, and one called Invasion of Privacy. They'll be coming out over the next few months.
But of course, you probably cancel everything to come to a Tennessee game.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, there was one movie that I already didn't do because they wouldn't let me off on Saturday, so I said, sorry, I get somebody else.
Well, so far, you're a happy fan tonight.
Yeah, so far.
Thanks, David. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Missy. It's Tennessee now 3rd down and 2. They are 2 of 3 on 3rd down conversions. What do you call, Condrich?
Well, I think you ride the back of your offensive line. If not, you go to your short passing game. And from the looks of it, there's a short pass available on the sidelines, but they might isolate it. There it is.
Bang. Automatic. You see the marker. You see Joey Kent is beyond the marker. First down, Tennessee. David Hart came up from free safety to make the stop, but not until Joey had turned it in for the first down.
This is just a 3-step drop, quick throw with the inverted type defense on that side to the short side of the field. You've got 6 or 7 yards.
There's Joey Kent. First down and 10 to go for Tennessee. Peyton Manning hands off to his tailback, Jay Graham, and not much at all. Carolina waiting for that one all the way. East Carolina Pirates coming off a 7-5 record. Well, they rolled up a lot of yardage on South Carolina and won that ball game, scoring 52 points last year. Went down to Auburn and scored 3 touchdowns.
Right.
Steve Logan got a little hot this week, I think, when people kept asking him about his team performing before 95,000. He said after 50,000, it really doesn't matter.
That's right. That's a valid point.
All right, here's Manning looking now at about 9 yards for a first down. Swings it out to Jay. He turns the corner. Got it. Second effort. Jay Graham. Carlos Brown drove him out of bounds, but that last 2 yards was Jay Graham.
That's thank Coach Stuckey for that. That's a determination with a little extra added weight. This is just a little flare pass isolation. Get the ball quickly to the running back and let him outrun the pursuit, which he does right there, and then he lowers his head. There's a little Coach Stuckey weight room action right there, and that's a good finish. Good finish.
All right, Tennessee looking at a first down and 10 now at the 23-yard line, and Graham can't find anything this time. Stacy Whitehead, defensive tackle on that side, made the stop. There's big number 91, Whitehead, who weighs about 290.
That was a trap that never happened. This was supposed to be a little inside trap, and as you see, I think it's Trey. No, that wasn't. That was Trey Teague. It sure was. Inside, just missed the trap block.
All right, Manning is in a passing situation now. Got time, but receiver covered. Intended for Scott Pfeiffer. Fans thought he was covered a little too much.
That was great coverage by Eastern Carolina.
Just timed it just right and no interference. So now Tennessee looking at a big third down and 11. Third and 11 for Peyton Manning and company now with 9:39 remaining before half, and the ball's just hanging on to a 7-0 lead. Manning's 9 out of 14 for 80 yards through the air. He goes into the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers set on the right.
Here they come.
He looks that way.
Here they come.
Uh-oh. Hang on. Hold your breath. Manning running. They don't want that. Darren Hart, a strong safety, made the stop, and
he had no choice there. They came with an all-out blitz. East Carolina did. We didn't have enough bodies to block. Of course, we missed. We took a little flag block on one of them right there, but Peyton will probably be instructed to get down and don't take that or throw the ball away.
Fortunately, it wasn't a linebacker.
Yes.
All right, Jeff Hall, they're going to spot the ball at the 27-yard line. So it'll be a 37-yard kick. It's on the way. Yes!
That's got to be a confidence builder.
Big kick for the youngster, the freshman, 19 years old.
Now what do you tell him? You've got the jitterbugs out. Now kick 180-something in a row. Now the pressure's off. Just do it back for a bit.
Just keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
Well, 10-0 right now in favor of Tennessee. But trust me when I tell you that is not a safe lead, as I'm sure those of you watching here can see. You take a look at the kick there and the celebration. Missy? Tennessee leading 10-0. Let's go down on the field to Missy Kane. Missy?
Update on the injuries, which is good news for the Vols. This morning, Jason Lehman, their starting offensive lineman, had a flare-up with gout. He's had gout in one of his toes for a couple of weeks, but so far he's playing well. Bubba Miller also, he has a stress fracture, not a stress fracture, but a hot spot in his leg. Talked to the trainers. Both those guys are doing great. Their only concern is that stray dog you guys saw across the field. They have an unclaimed dog, so they said anyone that has a dog, that German Shepherd, please come claim it from the trainer. Good news from the trainer.
Well, that's an absolute perfect kickoff, Condridge. There's no way to do anything with that.
That's right. Get it towards the end zone, through the end zone, and long. You like those. If you could do those every time, your cover team would be very pleased.
And there's Hall accepting the congratulations of his teammate. So Carolina with 8 minutes and 51 seconds. East Carolina will put it in play at their own 20-yard line. Marcus Crandall's got one back set. Look for him to start throwing even though he's back at his 20. This team will gamble. They pitch wide. They may throw
Watch
off
the
of that.
pass.
They're going to. Long, and Tennessee waiting for it. Deron Jenkins intercepts. It's back to the 40. Looking for blocking. Still fighting. Beautiful run. Finally dragged down at the 31. Deron Jenkins. Good football teams, Condridge. It's hard to pull trick plays on them.
That's right. And you can't make your living on it, but this was a play that had been set up all game. The first quarter, this was a run. And what you got to understand, when those linemen are out running parallel, that's the key to this play. On a normal sweep, linemen pull and get upfield. On the pass play, they've got to pull and stay down the line of scrimmage, and that's who you watch to find out if it's a pass or a run. That's a great play by Deron.
Jason Nichols finally made the stop. 25-yard return on it. All right,
Oh.
Manning throwing for the end zone. Got him, but he can't quite get there. Had him wide open, Joey Kent. That's twice tonight. Manning has failed to connect when Kent was open.
Well, I tell you, in Peyton Manning's defense, he got leveled.
He had no
He did
time.
a good job to get that ball out there, but Joey Kent has set up this play. They've run the little quick out for about 4 or 5 times, and this was just a little stutter step and go, and he had 6 points. It's just that the East Carolina defensive line got to Peyton before he could get rid of it.
If he hadn't been 6'6", Condrick.
Oh, that ball would have never gotten past the line of scrimmage.
No. All right, second down and 10 to go. Tennessee hands off to
Play
Graham,
action.
or fake it. He still got the football. Beautifully. Touchdown! Nilo Nitro Sylvan. What a fake by Peyton Manning. What a fake by the running back.
That was a great play action pass, but
In the checkerboard by himself was Nilo Sylvan.
I tell you, when we get to see that replay, I'm going to show you something that you won't believe. You're talking about a good fake. He not only faked a lot of the people out in the stadium, but the defensive backs never saw Nilo. Nilo was behind him.
Jeff Hall. Barely, but good.
That was a great play action fake.
Tremendous play by everybody involved, especially Sylvan, the running backs faking, and Peyton Manning.
Now watch, this is a good ball fake. You put it in and duck it, put it on your hip. Little hand movement. We can't see the whole picture, but at this time, Nilo Sylvan is behind the defensive back. They still don't know where he is. If you'll take a look, the defensive backs are on the goal line. He's in the back of the end zone.
Jeff Smith,
They never saw him.
big number 74, was the man standing in front of Peyton Manning. There he is, just holding off everybody. There's
I mean,
Nilo.
they had no idea where he was.
So Tennessee gets a little more comfortable at 17-0.
And I noticed looks like Nilo's been coached on the celebration rule. But believe me, college players are innovative. By next week, there'll be something.
They'll do
We'll
something.
get it. It might be off the field, but I think we need to bring some kind of enthusiasm back to the game.
They originally even were going to prohibit the players from kneeling and praying, but the threat of a lawsuit, I think, stopped that. So
I think
that
Jerry
is-
Falwell stopped that.
Yeah,
didn't he?
Falwell put a stop to that. That is permissible now. All right, they gather it in. Galloway, he's looking for running room, and he got some across the 30, and then he got upended. Raymond Austin made the stop. A very solid one.
Jeff finally realized he doesn't have to get his tee now. I think he settled down.
There's the Tennessee scoring drive. 2 plays, 31 yards. Took a grand total of 14 seconds. Manning to Sylvan covered 31 yards. What a night for football. Nice breeze blowing. It's cool. It's comfortable here. They pull the tight end back now and set him in front of the tailback, who is Jarris McPhail. Trailing 17-0. I don't know if they'll go much to a running game right now, but they are. What do I know? Across the 41 they go. 8 minutes, 9 seconds. Still quite a bit of time left here in the first half. George Kidd, who's in now, along with Bill Duff, one of the backup defensive linemen that Tennessee thinks will contribute a great deal this year. Nick Jester is in the lineup. Well, so much for redshirting. They had thought now that they might redshirt him this year because they're going to lose some linebackers, but Jester's in there. And the infamous wave is going here at Neyland Stadium. Marcus Crandall got one back behind him. He rolls back. He's going to throw, getting some pressure, but still got it off incomplete.
Little pressure, but other than that, that was a good, well-executed play because it was a little play action package to the field and a throwback on the crossing route.
Deron Jenkins was there. It was intended for a backup tailback named Linwood DeBrew.
Little throwback. You got to make that catch. It wasn't the greatest of throws, but you got to make that catch.
All right, Tennessee trying to dig in defensively here. East Carolina, pretty potent offense. Can be explosive. Ball's backpedaling a little bit, expecting a pass. Instead, they try to sweep outside. Tennessee waiting all the way. Scott Gallion trailing it. Hit Jarris McPhail, the fullback. Gallion had some help, but he's primarily there. Jenkins came up. Flag is down there in front of the Carolina bench, apparently.
They call unnecessary roughness. Personal foul.
All right, we got it, I think, on replay. Let's see who's the guilty party here.
It was one of the DBs, I think, coming in late. It's coming right there. 45, it was.
Well, it was Nick Jester.
Nick Jester leading with the head. They won't let you do that. You cannot use that helmet as a projectile. They won't let you do it.
It sets up a first down in Tennessee territory now. It's first down and 10 to go for East Carolina. Crandall wants to throw. Incomplete. Got pressure intended for Nichols. And that was Burton, one of the men putting the pressure on him. Gaines was also back there defending in the secondary for Tennessee. As the game goes on, Condridge, Tennessee using these reserves pretty freely here in the second half. In the fourth quarter, this could really have a telling effect. Unless Carolina can get some fresh people in there, and I don't think they're that deep.
That's a valid point because Tennessee is rotating their players randomly.
Crandall hands off to his tailback. Nice hole that time. Pretty close. Not quite enough for a first down. Jarris McPhail, George Kidd, and Scott Gallion. A couple of linebackers made the stop. Looks like it will be about a yard shy. But Carolina is moving and threatening to score here in the first half. Tennessee trying to maintain the shutout, leading 17-0 right now, but still got 6 minutes and 40 seconds, so the clock is not a huge factor at the moment. Tennessee with some second line people in there right now, but they also have some first stringers up front. Here's Crandall, quick pop, first down, then some. Tennessee trailing with speed, catches him, but he crossed the 20-yard line. Scott Gallion showing some almost cornerback speed that time, ran him down.
This is just a little quick out, trying to get a first down, and this is what you want to happen, a missed tackle. And
look at Gallion, close ground.
That's a good play by Scott Gallion, but not a good play by the defensive back. You've got to make the tackle one-on-one.
Number 91, trailing you saw in that play, is Jonathan Brown, number 2 defensive end. Another good play this time. Jarris McPhail coming off his right guard. Crossed the 15 down to about the 12-yard line before Raymond Austin and Scott Gallion closed on him. Clock runs and shows 5:40 and ticking away. Tennessee 17, East Carolina nothing, but Carolina very much in the what normally they call the red zone. Tennessee calls it the orange zone, of course. What does Steve Logan send in here? Fade pattern out of the end zone. McPhail is now thrown 13 times, or caught 13 for 50 yards.
They're trying to play the matchup in size on that fade pattern.
Is that Fair back there with him? Yes. Terry Fair.
Because Shannon is tall, but he's not a speedster, and they're just trying to play a little alley-oop. situation with him, and it hasn't been successful so far.
McPhail, I might have said passing. Of course, I meant rushing. 12 times for 50 yards for him. He's a very solid performer. All right, man in motion coming out to the right this time, and there's the pass over, broken up beautifully by Terry Fair. Ooh. If he could have gotten there a half a step quicker, it'd have been about 90-some yards of daylight in front of him. It was intended for Larry Shannon, that 6'6" target again.
This is just a 5-step drop, and this ball is actually not thrown too bad. It's just thrown late. That's a great play. He kept his right hand off of the receiver, tipped it, but don't celebrate now. You'll get in trouble. You can't get excited anymore. I guess I'm beating a dead horse. That's the rule, and that's the way it is, right?
All right. Here's Crandall. Little flip over the middle, and pretty solid hit that time on Nichols by George Kidd. There's George, number 42.
Just a little delayed circle route. Nichols coming out of the backfield. He does a good, boy, he almost lost that football, but he did a good job of holding on and getting the first down.
Move the chains. Nichols, 4 receptions for 32 yards. There he goes, out in the flat and into the end zone. Touchdown, East Carolina, Mike Sellers. They throw it so quick, Condridge, so very quick that you can't get the pass rush on, and it's hard for the DBs to react. It's beautifully timed. It's a timing pattern all the way, and it worked to perfection.
Just a little flat route, and that's tough to defend, and when you execute it properly, that's what's going to happen.
Well, Tennessee coaches, I'm sure, didn't want Carolina to get on the board with still 4:42 remaining in the first half. It'll give them an awful lot of life now. Here's the point up. The extra point is up there by Chad Holcomb, and it is good. And Carolina now trails by 17-7 margin.
If you'll take a look, it's just a quick 1-2-3 step drop. The linemen are keeping the defensive lineman's hands down by blocking them in the crotch area. And I tell you, you can't defend that because the defensive back doesn't have time to react. Now, coaches might talk about that tackle a little bit, but I think they were trying to strip the ball. But
yeah, Terry Fair.
That's a tough little pattern on the goal line.
It was a well-conceived play by East Carolina. Nice job and a nice move downfield by East Carolina Pirates to get on the scoreboard. That particular drive, 11 plays, 66 yards, consumed 3 minutes and 39 seconds. All right, East Carolina now is set to kick off. Nilo Sylvan is the lone deep receiver. They don't use the twin receivers here. Nilo is back there by himself. Chad Holcomb, who does the field goal kicking, extra points, and kicks off. And he booms a nice one. Nilo backs up, takes it right on the goal line. Here comes speed, folks. Here comes a lot of speed. Up to the 40-yard line. Nilo Sylvan. Stop was made that time by Wallace, a cornerback, and on the specialty teams, one of their better performers. Nice bit of running right there. Nilo will break some before the year is over.
He was close. He was close on that one.
Here's Peyton Manning. Quick handoff, nothing. Absolutely nothing. In fact, maybe he lost a yard. That's Mark Levine, who's seeing his action now at tailback. Stacy Whitehead made the stop. Pretty much of a mismatch right here since Whitehead weighs about 290 pounds.
That was, wow.
Smothering time.
Whitehead's a big man.
Jarvis Rito's in the lineup now. Ratliff, Peterson, Miller, These are the men up front right now for Tennessee. Here's a handoff as they find a little bit of a crease, but not much. Mark Levine carrying the football, and Lorenzo West made the stop from defensive tackle. It's part of the Carolina crowd here tonight. Levine now going out of the ball game. Randy Sanders is his coach, you saw with him there. Randy's the running back coach, also the recruiting coordinator. Big 3rd down and 9. Tennessee needs a first down. Keep the clock running here in the first half. Don't need to give it back to East Carolina. If you're East Carolina, you want it badly. Tennessee gets the first down. Maurice Staley with a slant pattern, beautifully thrown. Dwight Henry and Darren Hart, left corner and strong safety, made the stop.
This is just a little slant pattern with quick drop by Peyton Manning. Good catch, good finish off on the run. Take the shot, get upfield. Tell you, Staley, McCullough, and Joey Kent can make quite a tandem there if they get on the same page, which they're trying very good, very hard to do.
Can't double team, can you, Conrad?
It's tough. It's tough. And then with Benji Schuler coming in on occasion, it can be a pretty good team.
Mark Levine carries the football from tailback. He's a little bit different. He's a lot different from Jay Graham, and in that he's more of a slasher, I guess you would say, Condridge. Same style, although not the ability of Charlie Garner, but the same style.
Not the cutting ability of a Charlie Garner, but tell you, well, I don't think very many people have that type of ability.
No.
But it's
movement in the line.
This could be big. Oh.
Maurice Staley is the man who caught it shy of the marker over there, but David Hart, free safety, came up and really stuck him.
Leslie Ratliff just made what most people will call a decleater. If we'll get to see that on film. The little DB didn't see him, and boy, he caught one right in the head.
Leslie is one of those Sunday afternoon players we were talking about.
Got the size, got the size.
Here's Bill Goss.
Offside on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Now, if you'll take, this is just a quick screen. You come out, roll to the field, turn around and throw. And if you'll watch number 75, he comes out, and this is called, oh, we didn't see it. But anyway, the guy's laying on the, there he is, 22, getting up. He took a pretty good shot.
All right. Peyton Manning now looking down a 2nd down situation here. Hands off. And it's going to be close. I'm not sure if Mark Levine got to the marker or not.
I think he did.
They pushed him back. Let's see if they give him his forward motion. It should be sufficient.
It's on the line, and the marker on the sideline is a little bit short. I'd say he got it by half a football.
Goss is not even going to bring in the chains. He waves it downfield. Tennessee Vols trying to answer the East Carolina touchdown. The Vols are leading 17-7. East Carolina is a better football team than a lot of people thought. I know a lot of people came here thinking this might be a blowout, but East Carolina is a very solid team. Question is, how deep are they? And only time will tell if that's a factor. Here's a pass out in the flat. Nice move. Mark Levine picked up a little yardage by just kind of stutter stepping around there. Marvin Burke, middle linebacker, made the stop for East Carolina.
Trey Teague had a good block out front, and a little better block. That might have been a big-time play.
Oh, Maurice Staley. Another big catch. Marcus Nash has probably gotten a little bit more publicity, and I guess Marcus Staley is ready to show that he needs some of the pub, too.
This is just an under-over pattern. You have a flat pattern and a corner pattern, and you play off the defensive back. If he comes up to cover the flat, you throw the corner. If he stays back to cover the corner, you throw the flat. And Peyton Manning read that very well.
But in Marcus Nash and Maurice Staley, they've got some great future there, I'll tell you that. First down and 10 to go at the 12. Here's Manning rolling, looking, firing. No. Intended for Marcus Nash. Broken up over here by Emmanuel McDaniel.
You've been waiting for that.
I've been waiting for that name all night. Emmanuel McDaniel. Let's rumble.
This one, Peyton Manning just comes out on a little half roll, and really his man is not open. He's just trying to play jump ball and just didn't get well. That was a great play. That's a good play by Emmanuel McDaniel. Yes, I've got it.
Second down and 10 to go now. Manning with a long count. Looks and delays one in the middle. Ball is flags are flying down there.
That's not smart.
Trey Peterson at the bottom of things down there. Let's see what the official's going to call. It may go against Tennessee.
Yes.
Personal foul. Ooh.
Not a smart play in that area of the field, in the orange zone.
Steve Peterson, coach of the offensive line, probably will have some words here. I think we have it on replay here.
Just a little. Oh, I see what happened there. This is after the play. That's not good.
Ooh.
That's not good.
Steve Marshall, the offensive line coach. What did I call him? Peterson? I don't want him after me also. You know.
I know it's Steve Peterson. He's head coach at MTSU baseball. Buddy of mine.
Yeah, he is. Good one, too. Steve Marshall, of course, who's done a great job here at Tennessee with the offensive line. Real emotional coach. I tell you, Tennessee's got some emotional people now with Chavis, Ramsey.
Oh,
Ramsey
yeah.
is extremely emotional.
Oh, yeah.
And my old buddy Doug Matthews says you got to have that with coaches. You got to have coaches who get in their face, Condridge, when it's that time.
That is a must. You have to have that quality.
Tennessee now looking at, what do you think, Condridge, going into the end zone here? 33 seconds to go.
Well, I think from a formation standpoint, you want to spread them out and see how they're going to line up. If you get a one-on-one situation, especially with Joey Kent or Marcus Nash, you take one up to the end zone because they've got a chance to make that play. If they're zoning it, you've got enough time to hit one deep in the middle at around the 8 or 9 yard line and hope he can break a tackle, but you can still get up and run another play.
In the shotgun, Peyton Manning. He's got time. And no. Joey Kent couldn't quite get there, couldn't shake his man, and Manning couldn't afford to throw it anywhere else or it could have been intercepted. So
right.
He had to lead him a little too much. All right, do we see Jeff Hall here now with 27 seconds to go? Yes, we do. Tennessee would like to perhaps go to the locker room with a 20-7 lead, 17-7 right now. 29-yard line. Make it a 39-yard effort here with the end zone for Jeff Hall. The snap, it's clean. The hold is good. The kick is no good. Well, no need to hang your head, Jeff. You've got a long career ahead of you and a lot of chances to do that, to make those kicks. And he's made one tonight, of course. There's a coach giving him a few instructions over on the sidelines. He may have rushed that one a little bit, Condridge.
That's Coach Obie. He's in charge of the kickers, and I'm sure he's giving a little corrective criticism there. Coach O'Brien.
22 seconds to go for East Carolina. And the way they strike,
they're going to go down on it, I think. Just kneel and go in, line up another day.
Well, 17-7 is not too bad for them right here. They perhaps figure, hey, there's a nice young fan, very energetic, a lot of enthusiasm, very aggressive young man.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably a DB. Well, it's halftime here at Neyland Stadium. 95,000 plus on their feet. as Tennessee goes to the dressing room with a 17-7 halftime advantage over East Carolina. But we've still got a football game. East Carolina is an explosive team, so that is not a safe lead for Tennessee. I'm sure that Coach Philip Fulmer will talk to his defense about trying to get a little more pressure, but Condridge, the way they play, we'll talk about that in a moment. I think Missy has Coach Fulmer right now on the sidelines. Missy?
Coach Fulmer, you guys did great so far. You scored all except that last drive, but ECU is still moving the ball.
It's too close for comfort. This game is a long way from over. You have to play this one as you come out just like it's nothing to nothing, because they are a dangerous offensive team in the last part of the half. Were giving us all we wanted defensively, so I'm disappointed we didn't get that score there at the end.
Tell me about going for it on 4th and 1 early. What was your decision on that?
Well, we were close enough that I felt confident enough in our front people that we could get it done, and I thought a touchdown was more important. Plus, the angle of the field goal was pretty tough, so it wasn't a hard decision at that point.
Peyton looks a lot different this year. He looks a lot more confident.
Well, Peyton's a good player, and as he matures, he'll be better. And we need to make a play or two out here, and we could have this thing put away right now, I think.
Okay, thank you so much, Coach Fulmer. Okay, right now 17-7, but like Coach Fulmer said, the game's not over. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Missy. Condridge, as I was saying just before Missy talked to Coach Fulmer, it's the pass rush. You can't get much of a rush on a guy who takes only a couple of steps and fires so quickly like that.
Well, that's true. It's a Bill Walsh type, West Coast type offense. A lot of people are talking about it now. Things are done on timing, and that means timing stepwise by the quarterback and also stepwise by the receiver. So the ball is going to be gone at a certain length of time, and those offensive linemen know that. So all they basically have to do is create a stalemate and get a guy's hands down, and the ball's going to be gone.
Well, there's the halftime score, 17-7 in favor of Tennessee. Tennessee, as we talked about early when we discussed Jay Graham stepping in and taking over at tailback, they've had a long list of great running backs. Many have gone on to glory in the NFL, and some are still playing in the NFL. Well, there's an exciting 60-minute video out now, a look back at the legends of the Tennessee running game.
If Gene McEver set the standards for running backs in Tennessee, James Littleman Stewart took it to the next level in 1994. Stewart capped off his senior season as the leading rusher in Tennessee football history.
15, 10, 5, touchdown, James Stewart.
Stewart's achievement was even more remarkable considering nobody even thought he'd be the leading rusher in his own recruiting class. Stewart may have been the least hyped recruit, but he knew he only needed a chance.
If I knew I could play, and I knew I had the ability to play, it was just getting a chance. And when I came here, I got that chance and was able to play. And it just worked out for me. I was just at the right place at the right time, and it worked out for me.
Things started working immediately. In his first game in a college football uniform, James Littleman Stewart sent a message heard loud and clear by a national TV audience.
Kelly draws Stewart. Room to run. Stewart inside the 5 to the goal line. Touchdown.
That night against Louisville, Stewart and fellow freshman Aaron Hayden each ran for over 100 yards. Tennessee beat Louisville 28-11, and it was just a hint of good things to come from this talented young pair. Stewart continued to build on that first game's success. In his freshman year, he had 6 100-yard rushing games, including 215 yards against Ole Miss. Stewart's value was in his durability. He never missed a game in 4 years, partly because of the Volunteers' ability to rotate backs as Littleman, who split time with Aaron Hayden and Charlie Garner. But Stewart took advantage of his playing time and racked up big numbers, the most yards by any back in Tennessee history.
It makes me feel real good to know that I'm amongst the best running backs here at the University of Tennessee. I mean, it makes me feel real good. I know that the record won't stand forever, but I was a part of, the history books, and that's just something that I'm proud of.
Stewart from Morristown, Tennessee, became a volunteer in part so his family could continue watching him play. They, like his Big Orange family, took particular delight in watching his stellar, record-breaking senior season. A big back at 6'1" and 220 pounds, Stewart had surprising speed. Many opposing defensive backs had an opportunity to read the name Stewart emblazoned on the back of his number 33 jersey. But there was another aspect of Little Man's game more familiar to most observers.
I guess a lot of people around here would say going over the top or whatever, the dive over the top of the goal line or whatever. That's kind of been like a trademark of mine.
After his patented touchdown dives, he may have found himself at the bottom of the pile, but he was on top of the heap when he left Tennessee. He was the leading rusher in Volunteer history with 2,890 yards in his 4-year career. Stewart continued another Tennessee tradition in 1994. He was a first-round draft pick of the NFL's Jacksonville Jaguars, extending the Volunteer streak of consecutive years producing a first-round pick to over a decade.
Well, that's just a portion of the tape, of course. It's now on sale at participating J.C. Penney stores for $19.99 or by dialing 1-800-529-4500. So we'd advise you to get that now. That could be a collector's item, will be a collector's item. Great Tennessee running backs. Condridge, I know you handed off to some of them in your day and time, too. We're at halftime here. We're going to step aside for a few minutes, and we'll be back on this video seat presentation with another exciting half of football. The Volunteers leading East Carolina by a score of 17-7.
mater soloist is Cindy Arnold, a sophomore in music education from Bristol, Tennessee. Will you please stand and join us singing as the Tennessee Band plays our alma mater, conducted by James R. Sparks, Director of Band.
Schedule for East Carolina, but they want to play big-time football, and they look to me like they're capable of doing it right now. Let's go down on the field and check with Missy Kane again. Hi, Missy.
Hey, guys. You know, Tennessee has great football athletes, but also a lot of other athletes. Evan Stewart joins me, a junior at Tennessee, a diver. He's won the NCAA title 2 times, and he is the current world champion in diving, won that title in a row. Tell me about getting ready for the Olympics. You're already on the team of Zimbabwe, your home country.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much a definite thing now. I'm actually going to take a semester off, go home, and really concentrate on building a base, you know, for my training for the Olympics, and then I'm going to come back here and dive in the SECs and the NCAAs and use that as a warm-up for the Olympic Games.
Well, you're a tremendous diver. We hope to be watching the Olympics next year. And you're trying to get the wave going here. You're an excited football fan now.
I've gotten into this so much. You know, we watch rugby at home, but football's very exciting as well.
Okay, well, good luck to you this year. Back to you guys.
Condridge, I don't believe that accent is from East Tennessee, do you?
No, I don't think he's from Sevierville.
Let's take a look now at some of the highlights, Condridge, of the first half.
Well, this is the scoring play, I think, with the quarterback sneak. And see if you see that they're wedge blocking, so Peyton just gets that big frame down and gets right behind the center, Bubba Miller, and gets into the end zone. When you're 6'5", you can't stand up. You get hit in the mouth on a quarterback sneak. This is a great play-action pass right here. Peyton Manning holds his ground, finds a secondary receiver, which is Nilo Sylvan, who has gotten behind everybody. And this is a touchdown. I think the play-action fake fooled everybody.
All right. We're just about set to begin the second half of play, but let's take a look at Carolina's score.
Quick flat for a touchdown by East Carolina, and it was a well-executed play.
All right, we're set now to kick off. Chad Holcomb. Remember, Tennessee won the toss and deferred to the second half, so Nilo Sylvan is standing back. He had 40 yards on his only return of the night, and a very, very dangerous man, but of course East Carolina knows that. Here is Holcomb getting a rather short kick away. And the up man did not step up and field it, and so it rolls back into the end zone. Al Wilson, a freshman, probably should have fielded that, but then he's a freshman, and I'm not sure he probably didn't make the right decision, Condridge, in the end after all.
No, he'll get a little earful, though.
There are the stats in the first half. Tennessee 61-54 in rushing, passing 148-97, total 209-151. No punting in the first half of this ball game. So we haven't seen Binion as yet. All right, Peyton Manning has him out at the 20-yard line. Hands off to his tailback. There's a nice hole as Jay Graham pops through across the 25 to the 27-yard line, which means Steve Marshall probably had some talk with the offensive line at the half.
I think they had a little private meeting, probably over in the corner by themselves. I know how Steve gets sometimes.
Stacy Whitehead and Darren Hart, defensive tackle and strong safety, made the stop. A couple of yards shy of a first down. Maybe 2.5 for Peyton Manning. He hands off once again to his tailback, and he should have the first down with about a yard to spare. Jay Graham slashes behind his left tackle, and David Hart from free safety made the stop.
I think the Tennessee offense is just going to go back to their basic offensive scheme and give their offensive linemen a chance to establish themselves and show that they are superior. That's what they intended to do at the beginning, but it didn't work out that way. But I think they're going back to basics now.
Power set on the right, so they come back to the left, and it works. Across the 41-yard line is Jay Graham, and the identical twins, Darren Hart and David Hart, the two safeties, made the stop for East Carolina.
This is nothing fancy here, folks. This is just basic football. Line up, get a good split, stay with your man, drive him. The back picks a hole. He goes to the opposite side of the block, and that's all Jay did, was just follow his blocking.
Tennessee playing power football here. This time Graham is dropped down by Lebiano, and a very solid tackle that time by Mark Lebiano, who's a linebacker that's already nominated for the Butkus Award. Tennessee has two linebackers nominated, Tyrone Hines and Scott Gatton.
This play was flushed out by a great play by Lebiano. He just came up into the hole and forced Jay Graham to go wide, and then made a great tackle on him.
Manning going to put it in the air this time. Eddie's man dropped it. Marcus Nash couldn't hold on to it. Had a defender on his back, but probably should have caught it. Definitely should have caught it.
Yes, that ball has to be caught. That's just a little possession play, little flat pattern, and you gotta catch that.
Jason Nichols is deep, and here's Larry Binion's first punt as a Tennessee ball. Hey, it's a pretty good punt. Gathered in at the 20, and he's gathered in at the 22. John Emery made the stop.
Flag on the play.
That's a 42-yard punt with a 4-yard net return, but as Condrich said, a flag is down.
Looks like it might be on East Carolina. A little holding.
We'll wait for the official. Bill Goss, the referee.
Block in the back.
Illegal block in the back. So that's a tough break for East Carolina to start the second half of play. They start deep in their own territory now, trailing Tennessee 17-7. Still some questions to be answered, Condrich, about the Tennessee defense. They're missing Tyrone Hines tonight. He'll be back next week, but still some questions in there.
Yes, there is, and hopefully they can get a few of them ironed out this half, but the first half there was just not enough pressure.
There's a little pressure there.
Saw a little stunt action going on there with Leonard Little.
Leonard made the stop on Jarris McPhail. Leonard Little. There he is, number 1. He's picked up quite a bit of weight. He weighs about 240 now. He listed at 220 in your program, but in reality he's about 240.
There's Shane coming inside and Leonard Little coming behind him in a little X stunt there.
That's the defense they're looking for. Second down and 9. Carolina backed up, ball on the 12-yard line. Maybe a yard, and that's about it. Jarris McPhail got hit by Shane Burton. All 290-plus pounds of Burton on the bottom of that stock.
This is a big play coming up for both teams.
It's a huge play, yeah.
East Carolina needs to establish the fact that they can get the ball out of the hole and move it a little bit. And the Tennessee defense needs to set the tone right now for the rest of the game for them.
All right, defense is what they're flashing on the scoreboard. Let's see if Tennessee plays it. East Carolina, third down conversion. You see on your screen 4 of 8. And Crandall is back, wants to throw, got his man, got the first down. Mitchell Galloway, slanting toward the middle of the field, pulls it in. Again, Condrich, he had time to throw.
He had time to throw. There was virtually no pressure on him. He steps up in the pocket. When you get this much time, you can find a receiver, especially when it's zone playing behind you.
Leonard Little went outside on the rush, and they kept driving him outside. Burton was double-teamed inside. Big first down for East Carolina. They throw that flat pass again. Tennessee converges on it pretty quickly, but they gain some positive yards. Mitchell Galloway, Raymond Austin from safety made the stop. Austin going almost all the way here in this ball game. Of course, Jason Parker is out for the year. Pre-conference all-conference player, preseason all-conference player, and possibly an All-American.
Right, yeah, you're right. That was a great catch right there. Just a little flat pattern that's been run all day. But it is, if you throw it on time, it's tough to defend.
A lot of teams will say, we'll give you that as long as you don't turn it upfield. And they've been able to make some yardage. And they make more yardage here by carrying the football. Fullback, Jarris McPhail and Terry Fair made the stop. Tennessee's secondary may be making too many tackles. They're making an awful lot. Fair and Gaines have made a ton of tackles tonight.
This is just a zone blocking off tackle play to the weak side of the field. That's good hard running right there.
McPhail 15 times for 65 yards. Good fake. All the time in the world to throw. Man wide open. Down the sidelines, run out of bounds finally is Mitchell Galloway.
Probably got a holding penalty, though.
Marker back at the line of scrimmage.
I think he got a holding penalty.
Raymond Austin chased him down and prevented the touchdown, but it's going to be fullback.
When you see the guy in the white hat doing his fingers like come back, I think it's holding.
Guy in the white hat rules.
He rules.
Holding offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot. Repeat the down.
Well, big break for Tennessee right there. Steve Logan is talking to the official, trying to lobby perhaps a bit, but too late now.
Still too much time to throw the football. That's very dangerous. You can't expect your defensive backs to cover that long if you don't pressure the quarterback.
Tennessee is going to face some great quarterbacks this fall. Great passing offensive teams like Florida, like Georgia coming in here next week look good throwing it today and running it. Here's a fake to the tailback, wide open over the middle. Derek Batson, flanker, right down the gut, caught it. Raymond Austin made the stop from safety.
They utilize motion there to get right in behind the linebackers. We can use a play-action pass with a little motion. Linebackers have a tendency to bite, and if you go straight up the field, you can get behind them. And that's what happened.
Austin bent him double, as you saw, but he held on to the football. A little confusion on the left side of the offense now, but they settle down. There's Crandall handing off, and it's Jarris McPhail again. He's close to the first down. He may have it. Good play action again. Terry Fair, Corey Gaines, two leading tacklers on the field tonight.
This is just a zone blocking play that allows the running back with speed to get to the outside. You just lock up with your man and try to run him to the sideline. You really try to hook him, but if you can't, you just run him to the sidelines, and the running back just takes off and uses his speed to gain yardage.
Crandall has thrown 23 times, completed 12 for 129 yards. 9 minutes, 25 seconds to go in quarter number 3. They go in the middle for the first down. Jarris McPhail, Craig King, middle linebacker, made the stop. Be close. May have it.
First by Craig King.
Philip Fulmer, who probably at the moment is not in a very good mood. He's seeing East Carolina move on his team a bit right here. And it's 17-7. Tell you what, this one is a dangerous situation for Tennessee.
By the stripe of the ball, what do you think?
You're right. First down for East Carolina. Ball at the 46-yard line. in Tennessee territory. East Carolina breaks out of that huddle. Tennessee's defense needs to do something positive right here. Carolina trailing 17-7, but moving the football. Started on their own 12. Here is pass out in the flat. It's worked all night, and it works again. Across the line of scrimmage and down to about the 43-yard line goes Jason Nichols, and again Raymond Austin has to come up and make the stop. From the end zone.
This was the hitch and go pass, but the Tennessee defense was not fooled. But I tell you, Kramer did a good job of coming back to his secondary receiver. That's a good little play. That's positive yardage.
Crandall, I think, is checking off here at the line, changing his play. There's his stats now, 13 of 24.
Good play action pass right here.
Got hit at the last second, but got his throw away. Incomplete, broken up by Gaines. Oh, that was close. Steve White was the man putting the pressure on the quarterback. Hit him just as he threw it. Steve White did. Larry Shannon is 6'6". They tried to just play jump ball down there. Corey Gaines came up with a big play.
Marcus Crandall did a good job of standing there throwing that one because he got pounded. And this ball was actually stripped because that was close to being a completion. I mean, you'll watch good play action fake there by Marcus Crandall. And when this ball is thrown in the air, if you'll watch, it's close to being a touchdown.
He did strip it out, I think. Here's Crandall back again. Got a little pressure. Got his pass away. And it's complete to, once again, Jason Nichols. Deron Jenkins from corner had to make the stop. Going to be close.
About a half yard short. Well, not even a half yard.
All right, what do they do here? They're going to go for it, surely. Trailing 17-7. Looking at a fourth down situation. And less than a yard to go. Boy, if there was ever a time for the Tennessee defense to dig in, watch this. East Carolina, though, will try to get the push.
Boy, it's a big hole to the left.
He's going to throw the football. He got it. Mike Sellers.
He didn't get it. He didn't hold on.
He dropped it out of bounds. He says he caught it, but he didn't.
He didn't argue too heavily. So
now, we take a look on the replay. I thought for sure he pulled it in. I think most of the crowd did too for a second. There it is. He's got it. He turns. He's juggling it.
He doesn't have it.
Yeah, he's juggling it as he goes out of bounds. There you go. That angle shows it perfectly.
But I tell you what this does show me about Coach Logan and his quarterback Marcus Crandall. He's got confidence in this offense. And if it's 4th and 1 or 4th and whatever, they're not afraid to throw the football.
Terry Fair was the man who was responsible for hitting him there and perhaps making him juggle the ball. Yeah, you're right, Condridge. That was a good gamble. They had to do that. Here's Manning throwing long. Ooh, just out of the reach. Just out of the reach of Joey Kent. 3 times tonight, they have almost connected on the long one, but they haven't. Dwight Henry was running with him.
Dave, if you take a look at this one, Joey almost goes and maybe one more step. Oh, that was close. That was a good effort, but that was just overthrown, and Joey Kent had his man beat, and we'll see more of those during the year, though, and there'll be completions.
Carolina jumped in the neutral zone, but I don't think they made contact. Here's Manning handing off. Big hole.
That was a good checkoff.
Jay Graham. It's about a yard shy of the first down.
That was a good checkoff. A little down blocking there. Turnout, down blocking. And Jay Graham finishes this one off positive with positive yardage going forward.
B.J. Crane and David Hart made the stop. Tennessee 17, East Carolina 7, 6:36 to go.
This is a big play.
Graham, 19 carries for 68 yards. 3rd down. They need something right here for a first down. Oh, surely a flag, yes. 4 of them.
You think that might be pass interference?
Joey Kent was tackled before he had a chance to catch it. 4 flags, and there may be more. Clock operator may have thrown one on that one.
I tell you what, if they win their argument, though, they're saying that ball was tipped. Well, it wasn't tipped. That was a good try. But if it was tipped, then that negates the pass interference. But
whistle while you work.
No, that ball wasn't tipped.
Just kind of a wobbly pass.
Just
not tipped. Clock stopped with 6:20 to go in the third quarter. Unhappy East Carolina bench. Tennessee first down and 10 to go with the ball in East Carolina territory.
They got too many men on the field. Oh!
He got off, I think. East Carolina had 12 out there, and he finally made it off. Here's the quick pop in the middle, and a burst. Driving Jay Graham. Morris Foreman from linebacker made the stop, number 7. Nice burst by Graham. He's getting a little more confidence, I think, as each minute ticks away, Condridge.
This is just a quick trap. And if you'll see right there, great block there. Is that Trey Peterson? That sure is. He was the key to that trap being successful. And when he got upfield and made his block, it was just clear sailing. Those open holes are real easy to run through.
20 rushes for 83. First down and 10 to go. Manning stands up, and the whistles sound immediately.
There's a marker on the play.
Too much time. Didn't get it all.
Delay of game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, you hate to see those, but they happen occasionally. There's the time they have to get it off, as you see. And Manning sees that, but he just couldn't quite pull the trigger quick enough that time. First down now and 15 to go. This one is tipped. Out intended for Pillow. Ronnie Pillow was the intended receiver. Aaron Black, a linebacker, I think, got the tip. There he is. Big Aaron Black. There's the touch. First we've seen a Pillow tonight, Condridge.
Yes.
Good receiver. Penalties now. Tennessee 4 for 40. Eastern Carolina 8 for 58. Manning fires. Got his man. Marcus Nash, but not enough for the first. As you can see, East Carolina has got some size on defense up front. Tennessee's offensive line is huge, but look at the size of 91, 96, 94. They're big guys. This team goes to Syracuse next week. Tennessee will entertain Georgia. Third down and 5. Big down for Tennessee. It would be a long field goal. Manning, quick pop. Got it. First down and then some. Marcus Nash. Emmanuel McDaniel made the stop, ran him out of bounds, but a huge play for Manning and Marcus Nash.
That was just a smart quarterback play. I mean, you know, Peyton Manning has done a lot of things, but in the classroom as far as football knowledge, he knew exactly where to go with this ball when the blitz occurred, and he got it out there quickly. And that's the thing about throwing against the blitz. Get the ball off quickly.
Nash coming right at you with that one. He wants to throw another quick one. He's got it out in the flat inside the 10-yard line. Goes Ronnie Pillow from Columbia, Tennessee. Going to be used some, I guess, as a receiver, Condridge, and as a running back.
A running back also. Yeah, it's good to have that versatility.
Ronnie trots off the field now, having done his job. Ball is on the 9-yard line. Tennessee
got a tight formation here.
In a second down situation. Handoff to Graham. Jumps over one man. Runs headlong over another. And right down to the goal line. Good, strong running by Jay Graham. Did he fumble?
No, they called him down.
That's down, I think. Carolina thought They had the ball. Carlos Brown and Dwight Henry were the men on the bottom.
The guy took his helmet off. Let's see what they do. Of course, he was just going to talk to the official, but, well, I'm glad. At least, you know, that was inadvertent. You know, he didn't. That's fine. I didn't know how hard they were going to get on this thing, see? I mean, if a guy wants to talk to an official and takes his helmet off, is that celebrating? I mean, is that...
That's what I wonder, Conrad. Yeah. Will some officials call it differently from others?
I noticed right there it was a no call, which I thought was good.
Inches away from the goal line. There goes Jay Graham. Up and over. Touchdown, Tennessee. It was Eric Lane. Eric Lane, not Jay. So it's good to see Eric get on the scoreboard out of fullback. Here's a guy who has worked hard at Tennessee on the practice field and has earned a right to start tonight. Chester Ford suspended for this game. Eric Lane got the call. He's going to play a lot anyway this year. He weighs 230 pounds now, and he used that bulk to go up and over. Jeff Hall's extra point is up there and good, and the ball stretched out to 24-7. Well, I guess now, Condridge, everybody's going to try to emulate James Littleman Stewart, and when you get down on the 1-yard line, that's if you've got somebody with the ability, and Tennessee apparently has a couple of men with that ability now, that's the way to go.
That is a very safe way, but there is a technique to that, and I can see that they've taught it well to everybody. It's up and over, protect the football.
Let's go to Missy down on the sidelines.
You know, a lot of talk this fall about the new defensive coordinator, John Chavis. The Chavis family joins me. Diane, Jason, and John Jr. Diane, John Chavis, I've heard, spends 90 hours a week over there. Do you mind sharing it so much?
No, we don't mind. He's worked very hard for this for a long time, and we're happy for him.
John, now, you're a big guy. What do you want to do when you grow up?
I'd like to play football if I'm really young, but if not, I'd like to be a coach.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a great story, and I know Jason's a good football player, too. Great story. He was a walk-on here in the 70s, earned a scholarship, and now he's earned a big position on the volunteer staff. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Missy. Well, John Jr. looks like he might be a player.
Hey, he's active. I know there was another question they wanted to ask, but they kind of stayed away from that. The middle son is the different guy. I'll just say that. He's a great kid, though.
Here's the kick down to Mitchell Galloway. Heads for the sidelines, looking for running room, and runs out of room. Got hit by, you pronounce it, Condridge.
Oh, that's Heath Smargesso. Oh, Sean Summers.
And Summers.
And Summers. But I know Smargesso, I learned that one last year.
Take a look here at Eric Lane again.
This is just up and over. That's very rare that you get a guy that can accelerate like that from the fullback spot. It's usually a tailback that gets a 2 or 3 step run.
Yeah, for a guy that was 230, yeah, that's pretty good.
That's a pretty good effort right there.
All right, East Carolina with the football right now. Trailing 24-7.
Uh-oh.
Rolling in the flat. Oh, most. One time too many. Raymond Austin said, "Nah, I don't think so. Not this time."
He saw a touchdown.
Derek Batson, the intended receiver. That scoring drive of Tennessee is 9 plays.
He'd like to have that one back because this was a touchdown. I think he just missed this ball. He'll take a look.
Yeah.
Well, it's been difficult.
Tennessee scoring drive was 9 plays, 63 yards, 327. Yep.
I believe they've gone to the well on that one a little much.
Yeah, better be careful on that one. Marcus Crandall. Timeout has been called here, and this one apparently charged to Tennessee. Georgia comes in next week. East Carolina travels to Syracuse. John Emery's in the game. Mercedes Hamilton is also in now. Jonathan Brown. Mercedes Hamilton, you might keep an eye on. He wears number 99. Shane Burton is still in there. Hamilton is a freshman with a good future. Anthony Hampton is in at a linebacker now. Jesse Sanders, replacing Jesse Sanders. Kidd also in there.
Tennessee's rotating the players very well. It's even though it is a cooler day than was expected from previous days of heat. It's 73 degrees now, but
Yeah, kind of laid back there reading the newspaper.
Yeah. There's a shot, a little wide shot. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Feel like you're on Monday night now?
Yeah, I do.
There you go.
Except for the paycheck.
Yeah, well.
Here's Crandall back to throw. And a beautiful catch, and he really got stuck, but hung on to the football. Linwood DeBrew is the recipient of that pass. Big play. Deron Jenkins and Nick Jester made the stop.
This is just a deep step, 7-step drop, and when you don't get pressure, it's a great day for the quarterback to stand back there and pick receivers out. But
Deron Jenkins, primary hitter. Tennessee defense again needs to dig in here. East Carolina folks would say, let's get something quick on the board so we can get back in this ball game, and there's a way to do it. Jarris McPhail getting close to the sticks, but not there. Deron Jenkins again makes the stop. A couple of yards shy of the first down, but into Tennessee territory on the 48-yard line. There's Deron, senior, one of the leaders on this team. 2:34 remaining in the quarter. Tennessee defensively trying to stop Marcus Crandall. Outstanding quarterback for East Carolina. Hands off. Flows against the motion there. Jarris McPhail and Deron Jenkins cut his legs out from under him. Just kind of going against the flow that time, Condridge, and doing a good job.
This is just an area block, kick out on the linebacker and block down, and it's just a man-on-man situation to the short side of the field. Great running.
And it moves the chains. In passing now, Crandall is 15 of 29 for 157 yards and a touchdown. And he's moving the ball club again. The Pirates of East Carolina trailing 24-7. Crandall hands off. Same basic play. And Jarris McPhail picks up a little yardage this time, close to the 30. A little bit shy of the 30. Deron Jenkins, Corey Gaines, primary tacklers. Tennessee secondary guys are going to be tired after this one.
They've made a few sticks today, haven't they?
McPhail rushing now 19 carries for 95 yards. So he's 5 yards shy away from that, what a running back considers the magic mark of 100 yards. Steve White, is that the player who's down over there? Yes, it is. Number 64, and it looks like a knee. Trainer's working.
I think it's a cramp.
Hopefully that's all it is. He doesn't seem to be in any great pain.
He cramped up. I can always see that cramp look. That leg gets stiff.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, that hurts so bad.
And in this weather, I'm telling you, it's the salt pills and everything. You need to keep as much fluid in you as you can, but it's just tough sometimes. And when you lock up all at once like that, you walk like Frankenstein, just like that. I've been there before. That's not fun. Hang in there, Steve.
Got to get a little help quick on that. He led the Tennessee team in sacks last year. He's a good, solid football player. All right. It's second down now. About 6 to go for a first down, and Tennessee jumps, and were they drawn? That's the question, and only the official can answer that. Don't believe so. I think Tennessee just got a little over-anxious in the middle.
Well, if you notice, that was a pretty smart play by the center. Tennessee did jump, and he went ahead and snapped the ball and went down on a knee, which gives you an automatic 5-yard penalty.
And puts them in within a yard of a first down.
Defense made contact, 5-yard penalty, second down.
So now East Carolina driving the football. They're on the 26-yard line. They need to go to the 25 for a first, and they got a couple of downs to do it. Marcus Crandall brings them out of there. Second down and only a yard to go.
Watch play action.
And he's nailed by Leonard Little. Be careful, Leonard.
Now, this is just a little underneath move, and it was, I don't know if the running back was trying to block or not, but this is just an inside move, and with his quickness, it's not a fair matchup.
So now it makes it a 3rd down and, about 8 yards to go for a first. Big defensive play for Little. Here's a big rush, and caused him to throw it away. He got nailed. The quarterback, Jarris McPhail, was the intended receiver. Deron Jenkins was with him.
I think you got to go for it. What do you think?
I think you might as well, trailing 24-7 with 45 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. And it's a gambling football team anyway. So I think without question they'll go, and they are going to go for it. So here it comes. If you're an East Carolina fan, you got your fingers crossed. Same thing for the Tennessee defense. 4th down conversions. They're pretty good at that, as you see. Here's the little pass out in the flat. Tennessee waiting all the way.
Yeah.
Jarris McPhail nailed by Deron Jenkins.
That's a good veteran play by a defensive back, not getting fooled, not getting preoccupied with the trips to the field, and staying home and playing your position.
Philip Fulmer's happy.
But I tell you what, on the other side of the ball, I think that was the correct call. And, you know, if you got to play to win, that's what you got to do. They're trying to simulate a sprint-out pass to the field, but they're basically trying to set up a backside screen. And if you'll look at it, Leonard Little did get fooled, but he's a youngster, but he's aggressive.
Raymond Austin and Deron Jenkins are veterans back there in the secondary, and they're not fooled too often by plays like that. Here's Manning standing up. Almost intercepted right into the hands. Right into the hands of, intended for Maurice Staley, but right into the hands of an East Carolina defender.
That was a misread, and the thing about the quick game, once you go 1, 2, 3 and plant, you got to let that ball go. If you pump it, bad things happen.
Matt Semenza. There he is.
You got to let that one go on time.
The number 2 linebacker, backup linebacker to Morris Foreman. Clock shows you not much time left in the quarter. Manning's going to run. Going to get out of bounds, Pate. Well, he got hit, but he got hit right in front of the East Carolina bench.
Yeah.
No flag.
Well, he got the first down, and that's, you know, I think he's doing the right thing, headed towards out of bounds. And remember, guys, I mean, you know, Peyton is 6'5", 220. I mean, he'll eventually be a 230-pound quarterback before he leaves here. But
David Crumby.
You know, he's going to take care of himself.
Yeah. Fans do not want him touched.
No, but he's not fragile by any means. But, you know, you have to be careful. It's a contact sport.
It moves the chains. 1st down and 10 to go. 24 seconds remaining in the quarter. The 3rd. Tennessee up 24-7. Manning moving his ball club now. Oop. Almost fumbled that time. Jay Graham juggled it, caught it in midair, and then danced for positive yardage across the 50-yard line before Semenza and David Hart made the stop.
Let's see. That's just a case of a little bit of over-eagerness. You got to let that quarterback put the ball into your stomach. You can't reach and grab it.
Well, that's the end of 3 quarters of play in Knoxville before 95,000 plus as Tennessee's got 24 points on the board. East Carolina 7. It's still a ball game. Let's go down on the sidelines to Missy King.
I'm with Bobby Campbell. He's one of the men in charge of the deal down here. And Bobby, let's talk about expansion. People are excited about it. It's already started.
Right. It started this past winter. It's in 2 phases. The first phase was completed about a month ago, which is doing the foundation work for the stadium. Then as quick as the season's over this year, they'll start erecting the steel.
Now, Bob Davis said up behind there that you've already started work on the roof.
Well, I think they're probably, you know, doing some of the work on it. But basically what they've done is put the foundation in for the upper deck.
So when is everything supposed to be done, completed?
Before the first game next year.
Fingers crossed.
They'd better be finished.
Okay, thanks so much, Bobby. Of course, it's going to be right around 100,000, so they should be giving Michigan State a run for the money. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Missy. Actually, Tennessee was 3rd in the nation last year in attendance. Michigan led, Penn State was 2nd, and then Tennessee 3rd. And it was very, very close behind Penn State. Tennessee Keys so far, Manning 16 out of 27 for 176 yards and a touchdown. Graham 23 carries for 99 yards and a touchdown. Eric Lane also has a touchdown. It's a little bit misleading on Manning too, because he's had some men open and almost connected with Kent on at least 3 other occasions for what should have been touchdowns. Here's a drive for the first down, and coming up short is Jay Graham, about a yard short, into East Carolina territory at around the 46-yard line. Through 3 quarters, Tennessee play calling is 30 runs, 29 passes.
Is that kind of equal?
Almost.
That goes to a balanced
Almost.
offense.
Balanced.
You gotta like that. You gotta like that.
Peyton Manning. Is Graham behind him?
No.
No way. It's Eric Lane who gets the call, the first man, the fullback. And Eric probably should have gone up and over that time, but you don't do that in midfield very often. And it brings up a 4th down situation. Crowd wants them to go for it, but they're a couple of yards away. I don't think you take a chance here, Condridge.
No, I don't think so. You try to get a great punt, pin them down inside, and see what kind of offensive scheme they can come up with, and hopefully when you got to go that far, you can get a turnover.
Nichols goes deep. Binion with his second punt of the night. His first one was for 42 yards. Pretty good kick. Fair catch called for. Dropped. They roll around, fight for it on the turf over there. Let's see who's got it. East Carolina, I believe, is the signal. Yes. It was kind of not a great kick, Condridge, kind of a twisting kick, though, but very hard to handle.
Here it is, little twisting kick away from him. It looked like it floated on him. That's a free ball, and
it looks like indeed
it gets out of there again.
Yeah, it does get out. They're still fighting for it. But the bottom line is the official ruled that it's East Carolina's ball. 40-yard punt. So he's had 2 punts tonight. That gives him an average of 41. That's adequate, very adequate. East Carolina now in the 4th quarter early will put the ball in play with their not great field position, but wherever they are on the field, rest assured they will throw the football, or they'll come up with a trick play if necessary, they think. Tennessee 24, East Carolina 7. Vols came in here favored by 17. I would think pretty well pleased with the running game tonight of Jay Graham, certainly, as Jay is at the 100-yard mark, close to it. Manning has had a good night. Offensive line, generally speaking, pretty good.
I think the crowd has finally come alive here.
Yeah, with the players urging them to do so. They want to see Carolina stop down here. East Carolina sends a tailback in the middle, and he got about 3 or 4 driving yards. It's Jarris McNeil, the fullback. Scott Gallion is at the bottom of that stack. They give him 3 where the knee went down, make it 2nd down and 7 to go. Jesse Sanders is the primary tackler on that one.
They got to reset the 25-second clock.
Full house backfield now. We're in shotgun formation. They throw it out in the flat, complete, and knocked down on the 20-yard line. Mitchell Galloway, the receiver. Tennessee has got Jonathan Brown out there, among others. Terry Fair. Out of the shotgun.
Just a little semi-roll and a flood pattern. A little out. Good execution.
It's 3rd down and about 3 yards to go.
Big play.
Here comes another one. Series of big plays here in the second half. 3rd and 3. Ball at the 21-yard line. Crowd roaring for defense. Here comes the flat pass. Automatic. First down and then some. Anthony Hampton, trailing, made the stop. Tennessee DBs probably knew that was coming, but you don't want to take a chance, I guess, Condridge. If you come up and you miss the interception, he's gone.
Or if they out and up you, it's a touchdown. So it's, you know, it's a situation where you're smart, you make the play, and then make them execute and run the ball down your throat.
Good defense this time. Fullback Jarris McPhail could not get outside. Leonard Little chased him down, and Shane Burton. Leonard Little and Shane Burton with a good defensive effort that time. So they lose a couple of yards. Nichols now has got 7 receptions on the night for 52 yards. East Carolina. 7-5 team last year, hoping to improve on that this year. This is their first game, as it is Tennessee's, of course. They fake in the middle. Quarterback still got it. Throws complete. Mike Sellers, the flanker, made the stop. Making the stop was Terry Fair. East Carolina
just
picking up
another
pass.
And a nice little in and out move there. That's a little hook out. You run a hook pattern, and then you just drift out to the outside. Good execution there.
Pass rush doesn't mean much in a play like that. Tennessee almost jumped.
They did. Well,
I think
East Carolina is snapping the ball whenever Tennessee gets in.
I think he got back. I thought he got back, though. Let's see what the official rules. No, he did not get back.
That's a practice play. That's something. Anytime there's any movement, the center is instructed to snap the ball. Quarterback goes down on one knee, and you get a free 5 yards.
Heads up play.
Anytime they do that. So they've obviously practiced that, and that's something in their repertoire.
Twice they've caught Tennessee tonight. Makes it a 1st and 5 situation right at midfield for East Carolina. No quit in this team. And off to the fullback again, and he got good yardage down across the right at the 45-yard line. Ron Green made the stop for Tennessee. First time we've called his name tonight. There he is, big number 55. Got a lot of potential. Great athletic ability. So Tennessee's got some number 2 men in there right now, although some folks refuse to call it a second unit. Here's Crandall, got time, and his receiver is nailed. Is the ball loose? Tennessee thinks they've got it. Jarris McPhail caught it, got hit in the flat. They're still unstacking Tennessee's football.
That was a great strip. That ball was pulled out of there.
Trying to untangle. The players won't get up. We'll try to find out who's at the bottom of it when they finally unstack it.
But watch this right at the end. It's a good pull-out strip job right there.
Terry Fair stripped it.
That's a good job.
Terry Fair was the man. There's George Kidd in there also, and there's Ron Green in there, but it's Fair who has, I guess I would call him the MVP here tonight.
He's had to wear a lot of hats and put a lot of hats on people today, too.
Tennessee takes over on their own 45-yard line. Big play for the Volunteers. Let's see if they go downfield after the fumble recovery. No, they're going to run it, but they're running it downfield quite well. Jay Graham, who's gone over the 100-yard mark now, well into East Carolina territory to about the 37-yard line. Great debut for Jay Graham as the prime tailback.
Area blocking, and as you take, whenever you can see offensive linemen downfield blocking, good things are going to happen. I mean, you know that they're into the game. They've made their initial block, and they're giving you that continuous effort.
Carolina has a man down. We'll check his number in a moment. But I'll tell you what, an impressive thing to me about Jay Graham, they were trying to strip that ball all the way on him, Conridge, and he held on to it. And
he sure did.
Even one time when he bobbled the ball, he had the presence to grab it back out of the air.
I think we got another cramp situation there, too.
David Hart, his free safety is being helped off the field, but it's obviously not serious. He's going to be okay. He's stretching. I think you're right, Conridge. Just a cramp. Tennessee with the first down and 10 situation now. Ball at the 36-yard line. Flags down, confusion everywhere.
There's a marker on the glove.
Philip Fulmer, old offensive lineman. He won't like that.
That's Coach Phillip will have a few things to say about penalties like that. That's something that you can control, and it shouldn't happen. So it's something that you just worked on and mentally handled.
Vols leading 24-7. Trying to add to it. Manning got time going downtown, way too far. Joey Kent, again, the man on the receiving end of a Manning throw, but again, he couldn't quite get there. That's 4 times tonight he's gotten behind his man, and each time the pass has been a little strong. Hank Cooper was running with him, but a shade behind him.
Good play action fake, and one thing about this year, the passes that Peyton has missed so far have all been too long. Last year they were short. So, I mean, it's an improvement, and you just got to work on it, but you don't want to throw the deep balls short. So being long is not all bad except for not making a completion.
Good burst by Jay Graham. David Hart back in the ball game after coming off with the leg cramp made the stop. Jay Graham is having a great night, Conridge, but we're not seeing many guys behind him.
Well, that's true. I don't know if that's because of the situation with having the 2 fullbacks. And I thought we might see Ronnie Pillow, maybe Nilo Sylvan back there. But then again, you do have to play Georgia next week. You don't want to show everything.
That's right.
Especially when you're 24-7 up and
not
got a possibility.
Package.
Yes, that's right.
Manning's going to be pressured. Steps up beautifully. Going to run. Head for the sidelines. Won't get there, but he got hit. And he got the first down, I believe. McKeithen made the stop. But he ran for the first down. Gutty run.
Here it is, and he avoids the blitz. That's good eye contact. And here's a situation, just get down like he's doing. And why do you get the feeling that everybody in the stadium is going, they're holding their breath a little bit? What do you think, Bob?
Number 3 there in front of him blocking is Ronnie Pillow.
Hey, I'm going to have to talk to him about that shake and bake move right there. Did you see that?
Look at him protect that ball.
Shake. That's good.
So Peyton picks up a first down. Manning's carried it 4 times for 25 yards. Oh-ho! Jay Graham. David Hart rode him down, but it was down to the 10-yard line.
Bob, you know
they pull it back to the 12. Nice run.
The comment you made earlier is starting to take effect now. That's just, see how wide these holes are starting to get? And if you take a look at the East Carolina defense after each play, they're a little slower getting up. It's 4th quarter now, and I think the wear and tear on them without having the replacements and having guys substitute is starting to show.
There's Graham's figures, 140 yards. And he's going to add to it.
Got a holding penalty.
Yeah, flags are down, so let's hold everything. May have a hold. And that is the case. 7 minutes, 46 seconds.
Offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
Remaining in this football game, Tennessee leading 24-7. They've led all the way, but it's never been comfortable. It's never been a situation where I know the fans or the coaches or the players have felt, Conridge, that they had it totally put away.
You're absolutely right. And this score, if this ends up in a score, that could ease some of that. But, you know, it's still this East Carolina team, there's a lot of fight left in them. And they're a pretty good football team. I know they got to be proud of their efforts. This is in no way over, but they should be proud of the effort they put forth today.
Jay Graham carrying. Lugiano made the stop that time. Jay looks like he's rushed for almost 150. He's a tired young man.
And then and when you talk to him afterwards, it'll be like, and you thought you wanted to do what little man did, though. Are you sure that's what you want? See, when you're the only man, it's tough. It's a tough road to hold. Good fake.
Here's Manning rolling, looking for somebody.
Going
to head for the sidelines and get out of bounds. Matt Semenza ran him out.
That was a good bootleg pass, but nobody got open. What you try to do is play action pass, boot to the field, and you got people dragging across underneath with one guy going deep. And East Carolina played that fairly well. Nobody was open. Instead of trying to force one in there, Peyton just took it out of bounds and got out of bounds. Good, safe play.
All right, they're looking now at a 3rd down and 11 situation. Pretty well have to go to the end zone here. Certainly, you got to go down inside the 5. They go out in the flat. Nothing there. Marcus Nash.
I think Peyton Manning would like to have that one back. He knew he kind of got a little overstride. He just overstrided a little bit. That nose of that ball went down. But he can throw that one a lot better, and I know he wish he had it back, but it's still a completion. And line up, kick the field goal, and kick it off.
6:19 to go in this game. Still quite a bit of time. Price holds, Ingram snaps, and now Hall will attempt the field goal. Spotted on the 17. There it is, and it's good. So he's 2 out of 3 tonight in field goals. 27-7. Tennessee up by 20 points with 6 minutes remaining in the contest. 6:03 to be exact. And more than a few people below us here stand up and start heading for the exits. But hey, folks, stick around. This one, we've still got time for lots of excitement.
It's
6
a little
minutes
soon
and 3 seconds.
A little soon ahead to Calhoun's or Coppercella or Hoorays,
That's
isn't it?
right.
You got to stay and watch the ball game. We got a team.
Down to Missy on the sidelines.
I'll tell you what, ECU brought a good contingent. I've got Brian down here, otherwise known as what?
The Pirate Boy.
The Pirate Boy. Now tell me, you go to all their games. You came down here, didn't even have a ticket. You're really diehard.
Right. I came down here. I come to support the Pirates as best as I can, cheer as much as I can, and so they're able to give them a little bit more spirit and give them a little bit heart to play with.
He just told me, too, that we can't count ECU out. What happened in the Peach Bowl in 91?
In 91, they were able to come back when they were down to North Carolina State by 17. Jeff Blake led the team back. It was 7 minutes and 46 seconds to go in the game that lead them to a victory. That was the biggest victory in Pirate football history, probably.
So obviously the game is not over yet.
The game's not over, and we always go for the Pirates. We'll support them to the end.
Okay, thank you so much, Pirate Boy. Back to you, Bob.
Okay. Well, I think we can say that Jeff Hall, after the field goal, was a little pumped up, something extra on that kickoff, all the way out of the end zone.
I see that's great enthusiasm. Pirate Boy, I like that.
Yeah, Pirate Boy.
Get excited about your team.
Of course, Mom and Dad at home are saying, is this what we're spending the money for? Tennessee scoring drive. 9 plays, 45 yards, took 3:28 with a field goal by Jeff Hall to make it 27-7. Dan Gonzalez is at quarterback right now, and he hands off to his tailback in there, and that's Matt Levine. Is that right? There's a Levine on each side. 5:45 and the clock running. Tennessee up by 20 with Georgia coming to town next week. Georgia, very impressive win over South Carolina today. Of course, Tennessee playing South Carolina later. Raymond Mabry is also in that backfield now for East Carolina at fullback. Runs behind McPhail, is the number 2 man there. So they got the number 2 quarterback, number 2 fullback. And got hit, knocked down. Mabry nowhere to go. Tennessee swarmed all over him. George Kidd, big number 42, was the first man to make contact. Glad you could join us tonight wherever you are viewing this. We hope you've enjoyed the telecast. Sure we'll see you sometime later on in the season. East Carolina brings them up now with a little under 5 minutes to go. Gonzalez operating at quarterback, replacing Marcus Crandall, and throws over the middle with some success. Ball out to the 31-yard line. Craig King and Corey Gaines making the stop for the Tennessee Volunteers. As you take a look at the East Carolina bench, still not quitting. Although I think, Condridge, they have been worn down some in this quarter.
You can tell they are worn down, and it's they're still fighting, but it's been a long, tough day for them.
They're looking at a first down right now and 10 at the 31-yard line. Gonzalez throws incomplete, a little too high. Intended for Troy Smith, who's a freshman tight end. There's a look at Gonzalez. And a look at the Tennessee bench. Not overly excited right now. They know they have very little time to celebrate because Ray Goff and company will be in here very quickly.
I hear they had a Herschel Walker reminder down there today.
Edwards kid looked terrific.
He did.
Here's Gonzalez, got some time, throws, and complete to Troy Smith. Nice catch. Pass was a little high, and he pulled it in nicely. And for the 100th time tonight, I think Terry Fair was in on the tackle.
It's a good thing this ball was thrown high because that was the only place it could have been completed. So that was a good throw.
Gaines stepped in front of him.
Almost, but he's just a little too short to get up that high. But good execution. They're still fighting. They're going to throw and try to make something happen. They're not going to lay down.
And they've got 3 minutes and 39 seconds to do something. That's Mabry carrying the football off his right guard and tackle. And he got into Tennessee territory to about the 49-yard line before Craig King made the stop. There's Dustin Moore in there, too. There's a young man who Tennessee thinks down the line will be a big contributor defensively. Tried him briefly at tight end. Finally settled on playing him at defensive end. Gonzalez, long count, hands off to once again to his tailback. Good running room by Raymond Mabry.
Well, he got 2 penalties, face mask for one, and maybe a holding with the other one.
Definitely a face mask.
Yeah.
Deron Jenkins hanging on to the face mask, but as Condridge said, there could be another penalty as well. It is holding, I think, against East Carolina.
15-yard personal foul, face mask, defense, penalties off that, 2 second down.
A little bit of a break there for the Vols.
Yes.
Most assuredly, face mask. East Carolina with 2 minutes and 53 seconds, still trying to put some more points on the board. It's 27-7. They've got Gonzalez, their number 2 quarterback, in. Got their number 2 fullback in there, Raymond Mabry, and they've been teaming up pretty effectively here in this drive. And they try it again. Not much running room this time as the Vols clog it up at the 45. Bill Duff and Ron Green at the bottom of the stack for Tennessee. So East Carolina is looking at a 3rd down situation and 4, but I'm sure on 4th down they almost certainly will go for it. So it's a 2-down situation here, 4-down territory. Gonzalez looks over the Tennessee defense. The man in motion here and drops back. Got a little time. Now it breaks down Now they're all over him. Jonathan Brown. John Emery. Two men who crushed him. Take a look at it again here. Condridge, some of the young guys getting in.
Some of the young guys getting a little opportunity, and that, for a young tackle, that's cardinal sin. You don't let them go inside. When you're a tackle, you plant that foot inside, and everybody goes outside.
Well, with the loss, they felt like they had to go in and kick it, and Tennessee's Sean Summers fields it and gets knocked down short of the 20-yard line, but a minute and 28 to go. Do they bring Manning back in, or one of the young quarterbacks?
I think Peyton will, no, you're right. Jeremy Bates looks like
Bates will come in. So Manning has retired for the night. 27-7, Tennessee with the lead with a minute 28 to go. And young Mr. Bates will now direct the Tennessee offense in the final minute 28 to go. Hands off to Mark Levine. Levine crosses the 20, maybe a few inches beyond the 20. There's Bates. Of course, he's got a brother who's a linebacker at Florida. His father once coached here, coached also at Florida with the Falcons, with the Browns. Now he's back with the Browns, with the Cleveland Browns. Jim Bates. There's Manning, who had a pretty good night. Had a chance to have a sensational night. 2 or 3 throws tonight, a little bit strong, or it would have been a marvelous performance by him. Less than a minute to go. Bates just going to run out the clock here with his backs. This is Levine again carrying it. Practically nothing as East Carolina jams it up. 27-7. The Vols are going to win apparently by that score with 30 seconds to go. They have no reason to stop the clock, either team. Manning wound up the night with 16 out of 29 for 176 yards and a touchdown. He also carried the ball for, what, about 25 yards, I think.
And a big goose egg on the INT side.
That's correct.
You got it like that.
That's a big plus.
I think they're going to let it run out.
Tennessee's just going to, Bates says, let's not even fool with taking a snap, and that's the case. So the University of Tennessee wins their season opener over a good East Carolina team by a score of 27-7. Some question marks will remain, but some have been answered tonight. I think running back Jay Graham, no question there. Jay Graham had a great night.
But defensively, there's still some question marks, and pressure is going to be a necessity next week. You've got to pressure the quarterback. You cannot let him stand back there and expect your defensive backs to cover. So whether it be by scheme or by different personnel, and there will be different personnel next week. There'll be some players back that aren't playing this week that will definitely make a difference, but got to get a rush on the pass.
Without question. Tennessee wins at 27-7. Tyrone Hines will be back next week.
Right.
Chester Ford will be back at fullback. So those are two very good football players, but it's kind of hard to judge the defense because, well, there will be no flag on that.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank goodness.
These gentlemen kneel and pray here at midfield, and that's quite a scene. As I was saying, Condridge, it's hard to judge the defense totally because of the offense that East Carolina used.
Right.
Probably the only other team that will use something similar to that, I guess, is Florida. Florida's got a lot of that quick stuff like that. But it's all designed so you can't pass rush them.
The ball is thrown on steps. It's either a 3-step, 5-step throw. And it's thrown on time, and the receivers run their routes on time. Timing routes also, so it's virtually impossible. If you don't beat your man clean, you're not going to get to the passer if they throw it on time.
Well, Georgia will come in with what I saw of them today, a much improved football team. And right now, let's go down on the field where Missy Keene, I believe, is standing by with the coach. Missy?
Coach Fulmer, you had to be happy the second half. It looked like your offensive line just took control.
I am really happy with the way the second half went. It'll be a great film for us to study, to get better from. Our defense made some plays a couple times when they had to, and that was really good to see. And then we were able to take over. We cost ourselves 2 scores with penalties down close. And but I'm proud of our football team. We beat a good team today.
Proud of Peyton Manning.
Proud of this guy right here.
Great game. What do you feel about your effort today?
Well, thanks. We had some mistakes early on and kind of, set some touchdowns back, but it's good to have those penalties and still get a win in a game like this.
Offensive line really took control this quarter.
They really did. They're going to have to carry us all season. Those 5 seniors, really some big guys up front. Jay Graham ran well, and like I said, we have some penalties. We can correct those, and we'll get Georgia next week.
A lot of people worried in the past about the defensive secondary, but it looks really strong today.
There were some good things done. It was a heck of a play that Deron Jenkins made on the halfback pass. Really a lot of discipline. I'm anxious to see the film. There was a few close calls, and they made a play or two. But I think they did a much better job.
You were a little nervous after the first half. ECU was moving the ball.
I didn't like the way the first half was going. I thought we could have had it almost put away, but they're a good team, and they have a very sophisticated offense with an outstanding quarterback, and I am really pleased with the win.
Hey, a lot of people are really nervous when you're running the ball. People don't want to get you injured at all.
Well, I run the ball when I have to, but I get down on the ground. I didn't take really many big shots. And like I said, everybody, offensive line blocks well, and when the protection breaks down, I run and try and get all I can.
Terrific game, Peyton Manning. Terrific win for the Tennessee Vols. Back to you guys upstairs.
All right, thank you, Missy. And it was a great game for the East Carolina quarterback as well. He's a fine package, Mr. Crandall. He wound up tonight with threw it 33 times. Condridge completed 18 for 187 yards. A lot of that short stuff, but in the final stats, it shows up as 187 yards.
That's right, and he had one major long one dropped that could have put that a lot over 200.
And it came at a critical time in the ball game, which for East Carolina could have really given them a shot at, who knows, momentum-wise, what it might have done.
That's right.
Well, it's been fun here tonight. We've enjoyed it very much here at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. We hope you've enjoyed it wherever you've been viewing throughout the area tonight, and we hope to see you again later on in the season. For Missy down on the sidelines and Condridge here, this is Bob Bell from Knoxville. So long, everybody.